organization in the Bahamas to recognize the Sunflower Initiative. It's a way to show our continued commitment to making LPIA a safe, welcoming, and inclusive airport for all. Passengers needing to secure a free sunflower lanyard can email sunflower@nas.bs or call 1242-397-8600. For more information, visit www.nassauLPIA.com.
Strong family bonds provide a crucial support system, often filling the gaps that might otherwise lead to reliance on social assistance.
If we get the family structure support system right, you won't see adult children willingly putting their parents in senior citizens' homes. You won't see anyone putting children up for adoption. We should be the safety net for when the family begins to have some challenges.
Addressing the root causes of dependency is essential, as our goal is to shift the focus from merely providing aid to fostering self-reliance.
We must be prepared to move persons from dependency to self-sufficiency to economic empowerment. And I'm asking the public to join us on this journey.
This has been the Heartbeat Brief, an inside look at the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Unfortunately, Jay, we didn't have time to get to sports, but we will have that full report in tomorrow evening's newscast. But on behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshana Rowe-Parkinson.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Thank you so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11. A look at the nation's response to the expanding visa restriction policies of the United States under President Donald Trump and how it could impact key professionals in the Bahamas' healthcare system. And a renewable energy source this region has an abundance of, the sun and solar power. Bahamas Powered Light sealing an agreement today that paves the way forward. Also, locally produced liquid gold from a hard-working insect. We look at honey production right here at home and the incredible health benefits. The Bahamas Tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Royson Jones, and this is the Bahamas Tonight at 11. Welcome to the broadcast. The Davis administration's hoping America's expansion of its Cuba-related visa restriction policy doesn't strike here or any of the Caribbean for that matter. This as regional leaders hold firm on their stance to keep Cuban medical professionals who are critical to healthcare despite the U.S. government's claim these missions amount to human trafficking. Altavis Munnings leads us off tonight at 11.
Royston, Caribbean leaders are pushing back against the U.S. government's threats to revoke the visas of officials who support Cuba's medical missions program. In fact, several regional prime ministers have already made it clear that they would rather forfeit their access to the United States than compromise health care for their citizens. And that includes our very own Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis. When questioned on the issue today, he told reporters the Bahamas, or for that matter, no other Caribbean country, will intentionally engage in forced labor.
Before we engage anyone from Cuba, we send a team of professionals, sometimes numbering up to 12, to interview persons who would like to fill the needs that we have. And that has been the case. We will not intentionally or willingly engage in matters that amount to forced labor. In fact, our Constitution it is enshrined in our Constitution not to participate in forced labor or slavery.
Health and Wellness Minister, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, told the Nassau Guardian that losing the handful of Cuban medical professionals in the Bahamas would deal a blow to the optometry program that's helping hundreds of Bahamians deal with critical eye issues and could delay treatment for many others awaiting care. The Prime Minister isn't prepared to lose these vital health professionals either, and he's fully committed to fighting for the Bahamas on all levels.
Will know is that I'm in for their interests. Whatever it takes to protect their interests, I'm willing and prepared to do. And we'll be responding comprehensively to the requests asked of us. And if that does not find favor, well then, so be it.
And the government treasures its relationship with the Cuban doctors here. Health Minister Darvo also told the Nassau Guardian that because of the Cuban doctors' help, significant work has been made in clearing up a COVID-induced backlog here in the Bahamas. Royston, back to you.
Thanks, Altavis. It's a story we'll obviously continue to follow. Meantime, international reports cite that 43 countries may be on a complete U.S. travel ban. On the draft list, 5 Caribbean nations, namely St. Lucia, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Cuba. When asked if the Bahamas is wary about being listed, here's what the Prime Minister shared.
We have no concerns about being banned from the United States. I think once we sit down and dialogue, the United States will understand the plight of all my Caribbean brothers and sisters, and they will respond.
A major step forward in the country's renewable energy transition. Bahamas Power and Light Company today signing an agreement to boost solar energy. Our Devontae Hanna has the details in this next report.
A push towards a cleaner, more sustainable energy future taking shape as Bahamas Power and Light Company today signed on the dotted line of a power purchasing agreement with Madeline Solar Power Limited, paving the way for a 20-megawatt solar energy system to be installed.
And what does that mean for you? Lower energy costs, greater energy security, and a healthier environment for all.
Those points at the fore of the government's goal of achieving 30% renewable energy by 2030, adding to the desire to provide better electricity service for all.
This project will integrate seamlessly into the national grid, adding critical capacity right here at Blue Hills Power Station.
Now, construction for the grid is expected to happen over the next 18 months and should be commissioned over the next year. Now, as it relates to the construction phase, up to 100 Bahamians are expected to be employed, and officials believe that through the integration of this grid, it will lead to direct savings for the Bahamian people.
Once you have that direct sunlight and it's powering and creating energy, sending it into the grid, the fuel cost that you naturally would see as a part of your bill, that portion is eliminated for the amount that you use from the renewables.
Madeline Solar Power Limited, a Bahamian-owned company, now sits at the cusp of what is expected to be a new dawn for energy in the Bahamas.
Combined with the already operational facility of Lucas Solar Power in Freeport and the parallel build-out of the facility in Exuma, we will become the largest single independent power producer throughout the archipelago.
They earned the project through a request for proposals launched by the Davis administration last year and will be held accountable should they fail to live up to their end of the bargain.
The PPA for this project includes clearly defined key performance indicators and penalties for non-performance. Provisions have also been included to lock down rates, which will ultimately protect Bahamian households and businesses.
According to authorities, more PPAs for independent power producers will be announced in the coming weeks. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Devontae Hanna.
Thanks, Devontae. In related news, the government has moved a step closer to finalizing its deal with Pike Electric, with only a few outstanding matters left in the hands of the transition team. Today, Energy Minister, the Honourable JoBeth Colby Davis, confirmed that negotiations for the 25-year deal are in the final stages to ensure a smooth handover.
That is focused entirely on making sure that we do the secondment to the standard in HR and BPL policies. And so those discussions were happening between our transition committee that encompasses union representatives, HR, and executives from BPL. I was out of country, so I'll have to get an update, but I believe that we are to the end and should be able to close off those agreements and move into the next phase of that project.
Still to come, UB's got a new president. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country, pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
The University of the Bahamas' Board of Trustees today announced its decision for the institution's new president. And this follows a months-long exhaustive search that saw more than 90 candidates from here at home and across the globe vying for the top post. Corvell Pyfron reports now on who will be UB's fourth president.
In announcing the university's new president, Chair of the Board of Trustees, Allison Maynard-Gibson, defended the selection process amid questions over why a Bahamian wasn't chosen.
The process was very inclusive. We're very happy to recognize that the finalists were all highly qualified people, and as you well know, that finalist also included a Bahamian.
But in the final analysis, Maynard-Gibson says the committee, after receiving over 90 applicants, chose the candidate most suitable.
Today, we are pleased to announce that the new president of UB, effective the 1st of July 2025, is Dr. Robert Blaine III.
Dr. Robert Blaine III obtained degrees in music from the University of Rochester, Catholic University of America, and Indiana University. He currently serves as the Senior Executive and Director of the Center for Leadership, Education Advancement and Development, or LEAD, and the Center for Municipal Practice, National League of Cities based in Washington, D.C.
The Board of Trustees selected Dr. Blaine based on his vision and expertise, paired with his commitment to transformative education, which aligns with the university's mission and strategic priorities. He brings a wealth of experience in implementing sustainable quality enhancement initiatives and leading through complex regulatory landscapes.
The committee launched its search for a new president back in June of last year. The process included consultation and feedback from various stakeholders, including faculty, students, the business community, and unions. The pool of candidates was eventually narrowed to 3, with each finalist meeting and engaging with the university community. Dr. Blaine will succeed Janae Hodder, who has served as acting president since 2023. Initially, there was some concern that there would be protests to this appointment. However, we've seen no indication of that. As for Dr. Blaine, his 3-year appointment will mark the institution's 13th presidency. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfron.
Thanks, Corvell. Well, UB's board may be happy about the selection, but the same can't be said in the case of the Union of Tertiary Educators of the Bahamas, who tonight are expressing profound disappointment over the decision to again appoint a non-Bahamian as UB president. UTEP deeming this nothing short of a slap in the face to every qualified, competent, and committed Bahamian professional. The union is now calling on the government to exercise its influence to ensure the university does not go rogue nor act against the best interest of the Bahamianization philosophy. UTEP vows that it will not be silent on what it calls this continued pattern of exclusion. It is demanding UB present succession planning and mentorship programs. Minister with responsibility for local government, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, is defending the work of administrators and local government councils across the country. Minister Sweeting recently highlighting the significant contribution these officials make to their respective communities and how integral their roles are to overall functioning of their islands. He's paying tribute to these officials as the country observes Local Government Month.
The local government administrators and their staff do an excellent job of their mandated duties. They are excited about the new Local Government Act, and they're also excited about the 100 staff members who are looking to be made PNP and to be brought on to the civil service, who's been floating in local government for some time, and we are about to finalize a lot of that.
Minister Sweeting also addressing concerns about when the local government construct will finally be implemented in New Providence. He explains that there are still a number of things that need to be done before that can happen.
There were some challenges, and there will continue to be some. This new act that was passed in December, enacted in December, would help to alleviate a lot of that. So we'll see how all that plays out. But local government plays instrumental role in Family Islands and how it's constructed, the role of administrators, the role of local councils. So for us, I think that's the real mandate for local government.
Liquid gold, and we're not talking about petroleum. This product provides rich sweetness to any recipe, is made locally, and has extensive health benefits. Our Daniel Dean tells us more tonight.
It's a local brand dedicated to producing, then providing the Bahamian public with a healthier alternative to a popular product, honey. The golden liquid at 242B Masters has an array of health benefits. It acts as a cough suppressant, heals wounds, and even helps digestion. And if that wasn't enough...
So, you know, in food and dips, you can't double dip. Honey, you can double dip because it's antibacterial, antimicrobial.
Honey starts as a flower nectar, sugar-rich liquid produced by plants and glands called nectaries, collected by bees, which gets broken down into simple sugars stored inside the honeycomb.
Bees build the comb, they build their housing, and then they produce honey and put in the housing, right? Because understanding that honey is also their food, right? So they're storing their food in the combs in the little chambers. In the Bahamas, we have such a large variety of trees in a concentrated area. So we have from medicinal plants to fruit-bearing trees, vegetables, flowering plants. And bees, for us, pick up almost all of those anywhere in a 3 to 5 mile radius. They pick that up, and that's what the honey is produced out of.
Natasha Ramming, part proprietor of the bee company, remembers the company got its start when her husband, an avid fisher and advocate for nature, had an epiphany after teaching a beekeeping course back in 2014. From then to now, the company has been committed to providing Bahamians with a healthier alternative to sugars and artificial sweeteners. With Health Matters for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
This is why it's so important to protect the bees and rescue hives by contacting their professionals. Thanks so much, Danielle. If you're looking for a thrilling night of circus magic and jaw-dropping acts where the impossible comes to life, from acrobatics to fire-breathing daredevils, gravity-defying stunts to side-splitting comedy, this is the kind of show you don't want to miss. West Calix Forbes has this story.
The circus is back in town, bigger, bolder, and more electrifying than ever, following a sensational debut last year. They have returned to the Bahamas, bringing its high-energy, gravity-defying to Nassau before heading to Freeport, Grand Bahama from March 21st to the 23rd.
Really incredible brand new show, and we're so thrilled to be here. We've been welcomed so warmly, and we can't wait to bring it to Freeport next weekend as well. We've actually got 4 more chances to see it this weekend here at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. You can find tickets on eTickets Live or on extremeTourBahamas.com to grab those tickets because they're selling fast, and yeah, we're just so excited to be here. So thank you for having us, Nassau.
The Kendall Isaac Gymnasium is transformed into a high-octane arena where world-class performers will push the limit of human ability. The 1 hour and 30-minute show promises heart-stopping stunts, breathtaking acrobat, and an electrifying rock and roll vibe that will keep the audience on the edge of their seats.
So we actually have an entirely brand new show. Last year we brought Circus International, which is our traditional, very, very cool circus show. This year it's actually a stunt-focused show. So we've got motorcycles, we've got our Wheel of Steel, we've got really incredible acrobats from Spain's Got Talent, and just a really amazing ringmaster as well that we have from Cirque du Soleil. He came here straight from Cirque. He's a chainsaw juggler. So we really just took everything up a notch, and it's a little bit more rock and roll, a little bit cooler, edgier, and there's something for everybody. So we're really excited about it. Yeah.
One of the show's most daring acts come from death-defying motorcyclist and his daughter, who took the stage in a performance that blends precision, speed, and adrenaline. Speaking to them, it's clear that the love for circus is a family tradition.
With the Globe and riding motorcycles, I started when I was about 18 years old. Now, the circus, I started performing when I was about 9 years old. So I am 4th generation circus performer. My daughter is now 5th generation circus performer, and she started performing at the age about 7. Yeah, so we got her a little bit earlier.
I honestly love it, because then I get to be with my family the whole time, and we just get to perform in front of all different kinds of people and all over the world.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Michelle Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. That's straight ahead.
Junkanoo boys losing a heartbreaker in the semifinals of the CONCACAF Beach Soccer Cup. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Here at Immigration Care Service, you can trust us, especially if you have experienced issues or problems with the U.S. immigration at the borders. We'll do our best to provide options and solutions to immigration roadblocks, so travelers can continue visiting the U.S. and residents can continue living their lives in the U.S. without worries. The best part? Our services are affordable and accessible. Take the mystery, confusion, and fear out of your immigration concerns. Contact Immigration Care Service today.
Welcome to your Monday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Opening day for the Bahamas Flag Football League taking place on Sunday at the Thomas Robinson Stadium. But before then, this weekend, the Junkanoo boys falling 1 goal short of making its first CONCACAF Beach Soccer Cup. Let's take a look at the highlights. The Bahamas falling 1 goal shy of making their first ever Beach Soccer World Cup. This is Guatemala would advance to the 2025 CONCACAF Beach Soccer Championship Final. The Bahamas taking on Guatemala Saturday evening. They would fall 2 goals down early in this one before Wood Julmis would score in the second period to begin the comeback effort from a direct free kick. Brandon Adderley struck a bicycle kick with 20 seconds left in the second to equalize things for the host and set up a winner-take-all situation in the closing stretch. But Pablo Croker broke the deadlock late in the third. This one would seal the fate of the Junkanoo boys 3-2.
It was a good fight to the end, but we gave us some early chances, and then we had to fight back to get back in the game. And then when we got in the game, we had our own chances, but we didn't put them away. So when you don't put away your chances, that's what happened. So end of the day, we fought out. We left it all on the field today, and we just fall short.
I think the team was ready, but we had a slow start. And I think that cost us because we were chasing the game the whole time. And once we got it, we had a lot of chances. We had at least 3 clear chances, hit the post, and could have taken the lead. But, that's sports, man. Sometimes, at least I'm proud of the team. They gave it all. They left everything on the field. And, we just didn't finish our chances. And that's like I said, that's sports.
The Bahamas would have a chance to end the tournament on a winning note as they would take on the USA on Sunday in the third-place game. But unfortunately, they would finish the weekend 0-2 after a promising start to the tournament, dropping their final game to the Americans 6-2. From the pitch to the pool, Bahamas Aquatics officially ratifying the team that will represent the 242 with next month's Carifta Games in Trinidad. Here's Eugene Stewart.
Well, Bahamas Aquatics names its 36-member team that will represent the country at this year's. In the females division, the 11-12 category, Sienna Campbell, Scarlett Donaldson, Isabella Monroe, Taylor Nichols, Samaya Roll. In the 13-14 category, Isabella Carucciolo, Alyssa Ferguson, Celeste Gibson, Cyan Isaacs, Violet Sarah LeGee, Kamaya Saunders, Skylar Smith. In the 15-17 category, Tia Isabella Adderley, Layla Lewis, Mia Patton, Ellie Thuribridge, Zoe Williamson, Elise Wood. For the males division, the 11-12 category, Kai Bastian, Logan Camacho, Takari Cooper, Nateo Knowles, Dexter Russell. In the 13-14 category, Kriston Joseph, Alexander Murray, Tracy Russell, David Singh, Kalen Williams, Isaac Wright. In the 15-17 division, Tristan Hepburn, William Firington, Ellie Gibson, Ayrton Monker, Donald Saunders, Caden Wells. The open water team females consist of Jillian Albury, Samira Donaldson, Madison Fox. In the 16-18 category, Madison Gilbert, Alana Murray, Aaron Pritchard. In the male 14-15 category, Lawson Menzez, Tracy Russell, Kalen Williams. In the 16-18 category, Kevin Johnson Jr., Malcolm Menzez, Miles Saunders. Team Bahamas is coached by Trevano McPhee and assisted by Cameron Bruni. Bahamas Aquatics Federation Algernon Cargill says that he is hopeful for Team Bahamas.
We've already won 6 in a row, but we are very confident that if our swimmers perform as they expected to perform or perform as well as they did today, that we will defend the Carifta title in Trinidad and Tobago. It's going to be not a friendly territory because certainly everyone has daggers in the Bahamas that they now want to dethrone us after Carifta champions. But we've worked very hard to secure 6 wins in a row. We're not going to go down without a big fight in Trinidad and Tobago to win the Carifta Games.
And over at the field outside the Thomas Robinson Stadium, it was opening day for the Bahamas Flag Football League as it hosted 5 games yesterday to start their 2025-2026 campaign. We got up with a new commissioner on what we can expect this year.
I mean, first things first, what to expect is more games like this. We want to continue to galvanize the crowd, get them in. The goal is to put butts, as you can see, in the bleachers. But at the same time, make sure, continue to do our thing, foster the family-oriented environment. First things first. With that being said, also, we understand that it's Sunday and no football is playing, but guess what? Football is playing here at the TAR Stadium. So we want to get families out, your friends, your cousin, whoever it is, bring everyone down here.
Let's look at your sports on this Monday. A check on weather when we return.
We've heard you. We know you're tired of the reruns. We're coming back, bigger and better, on The Legal Brief. I'm your host, Ramona Farquharson. Stay tuned.
This is the Caribbean, a region known for its stunning beauty and vibrant culture, but also for being among the most vulnerable to the impacts of a changing climate. 2024 is predicted to be a year of climate extremes, a hyperactive Atlantic hurricane season, and early onset of an intense heat season.
When you combine humidity and heat, that is where our bodies get stressed very easily. That is not just human bodies, that is also most living beings, whether it's crops that farmers grow, livestock, whether that is the environment. Heat is becoming dangerous.
The impacts of climate change and climate variability on the Caribbean are becoming increasingly severe.
Basically, the entire Caribbean will be in its wet season until early August. And during that time, whereas in the Eastern Caribbean, you get more a progressive increase in the shower activity. In a regular year, this year it might be faster, it might be more intense, it might be more explosive showers. What we're seeing is 23 to 29 storms over the year as a whole. But for the second half of the hurricane season, is going to be a little bit more active than we're used to, with double the amount of storms that we usually get between September and November.
By staying up to date about climate information specific to your country, we can prepare and protect our communities, our livelihoods, and the environment.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. We had a cold front move through the northwest Bahamas. It's now making its way through the central islands. It will move into the southeast Bahamas later on tonight before exiting the Bahamas by tomorrow. But behind that, we expect some brisk winds and some cooler temperatures. And so we're asking boaters to simply stay in port tonight. And by tomorrow afternoon, we will relax those cautions out for you. But the cool temperatures will be with us for several days. Temperatures around the outlets tonight. Marshall, Babaco at 67, 64 in Greentown, Key and Freeport, Grand Bahama. The Berry Islands at 71 degrees, 76 in Allenstown, Bimini, 72 in Harper Island. Roxanne, Eleuthera, 71 degrees, Otterstown, that's in Cat Island, yes, 74 degrees there, 74 also in San Salvador and Rum Key. Georgetown, Exuma, 76 degrees, 75 in Ragged Island, Clarence, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 71. Acklands at 76, 77 in Matthew Town, Inagua, and the Turks and Caicos Islands. And tonight, forecast-wise, we're looking at partly cloudy and breezy conditions, a low temperature, very nice, 66 degrees tonight. And then tomorrow, the windy conditions will continue, but less humid conditions, so that will pan out to be a very nice day with a little bit of clouds and sunshine in the forecast. The high temperature tomorrow will gradually get up to about 76 degrees, and your extended weather forecast looking like this. Beautiful weather right through the next several days, but we have another frontal system that will make its way into our area, and that will come in, and we will see those temperatures once again sinking back into the 60s during the nighttime. So we're going to have some beautiful nighttime temperatures. They will range in the upper 50s, particularly in the extreme northwestern parts of the country, and around the mid to low 60s here in the central parts of the country. And the skies, lots of sunshine in the forecast for the next several days. Royston.
Well, let's hope it continues for as long as it can. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
At Tonic Williams Darling Highway, I'm Tijaro Hudson. This is ZNS.